available. Whatever name they put on it, be prepared for the opposite. Except I don't think you could be prepared.
All right, Steve. He's on his way.
Does he got a big announcement? Just.
You got an email from him a few minutes ago in reference to the end of the summer.
Are you,
No,
are you streaming it?
Check.
Yep.
We're streaming.
So I guess we can do, his will be under new business or in the open. Do we have any old business that we need to discuss? Any new business? We'll wait for Steve. I think we'll put that together.
Good morning, Steve.
Steve, come on up. We're gonna put you under new business.
All right, let's go.
Well, back in, better not race. The reason is I got an email just prior to the meeting, I noticed from Luke for about this event this weekend. And he had reached out to Mike Lawrence this morning for the forecast for 70 degrees, north winds on Saturday, wondering if anybody had talked to me. Excuse me, I'm running out of breath.
Those steps, you should take them out.
It would have took longer. Okay, let me get my breath a minute. Yeah, I'll be all right. I just was hurry up.
Take your time.
Slow, deep.
All right. About setting up the bands at Memorial Park somewhere. I just thought it would be wise to have a fall backup spot for the bands to set up with north winds. It seems like a much better idea than bumper boats at 12 feet of water out at the point. As far as I am aware, nothing gets served there. It would just be a venue for the bands to set up in a point to the park, or to the lake, excuse me. I didn't want to put you in the position to be breaking promises, so I thought would touch base with you first. If you think it would work or are intrigued, whether this year or in the future, Mike asked to call him.
All right, is the park full?
Park is not full this weekend. There is, Capeska Hall has an event on Saturday and Pavilion has a couple of events up there. The thought was I could probably have it back in the area where the chapel would be in the Girl Scout area to set up. It would be a good high point there. The other spot would be over in the west of the pavilion, over in that area there, if we would be okay to hold this.
Now the band is gonna be there and the boats are gonna be in the water.
Boats to be in the water.
Correct.
Yep, that's how this
Okay.
usually is conducted.
Okay.
So there will be no individuals on site in the park?
No,
It's all gonna still
It's
be
supposed to be
on
out
the
in the lake and it's supposed to be just the venues of the band.
And this is in case the wind is.
And yeah, currently right now, the forecast is supposed to be north winds, but it's a backup plan.
Because
is
otherwise
what
it
he
would have
asked.
been.
But it could be, I mean, for future reference, if not for here. So if anybody has thoughts.
I don't know, I guess I don't have a problem if it's just the band, the boats are out in the water. I guess.
Is it gonna affect any of our landowners, our residents out there?
That I do not know. The best
Houses,
spot
anybody?
would be for this thing is probably the furthest away from the residents over to the west would be is by the chapel and the Girl Scout
Mhm.
building there. It'd be an open area.
The
No matter
time of
which way it
this,
is, it's gonna affect the residents, whether they're on.
Well, it
south
depends
or
if
the
they're
west.
pushing it towards the lake, which is
Yeah,
where the boats
which
are
is
gonna
the
be.
boats would
The
be.
sound isn't gonna be going out to the houses on the east and west side.
Right.
But if it, it depends on which direction.
And it's
the
a
wind's
pretty good
blowing,
distance
so-
from that. That's almost about a half a mile, probably
Sure.
close to the residents either way, so.
What is the time frame of this? This is-
That I do not know.
think
I
it's in
didn't
the
call
middle of
Luke.
The afternoon or
Is it
something.
from
So I mean,
2 to
it's,
6 or
yeah, it's,
3 to 6 or 6:30?
Oh,
I listened to it on the radio and I didn't think it was all that late,
no, it's kind of during the day.
kind of in the afternoon.
Into Summer Bash 2022.
And they got,
It's not
It's kind of a deal.
Typically, they,
access to electricity and whatever.
that would probably be the thing would be is electricity and
Oh.
that would be the closest would be is by the chapel.
Cindy brings a good point. Insurance liability.
Right,
That's something we would have to check into. That would-
correct. I'd have to get a hold of Mike and find that out
What's the date again of this?
This Saturday.
this Saturday. Yeah, it's a last minute deal, so. I mean, we can deny
That would
it
be
for
with
now and go look
SDNL.
in the future.
Or who's,
So
that would
whichever
be
the
through our.
insurance is okay.
Public
Public
insurance.
property.
It's our liability insurance, yeah.
How about property? Well, that would be just,
If we have 10 members of the band coming in, do we charge them admission?
no, so I
No,
guess.
Seriously, it's a private,
So
The campground side is something we charge for,
Right,
correct?
correct. And
West
the,
side of the park is not, is that the to
Well-
the public? I guess,
it's access to the public except for renting of the pavilion or the shelters.
right. So
Or the
you-
individual camping spots, there's west side camping spots
Right.
too.
Yes,
But that site is also closer to the houses. over there.
Large gathering. I know one of the churches asked for permission. to-
yeah, the church uses,
So large gathering, we just give permission. So
yes.
what liability applies in those cases?
I don't. know
I
if the church-
I know the church
has
ends up
ever-
paying
I-
for a
it's
pavilion,
not-
so in case of weather.
They're just on. Do they have access to the pavilion? I thought they had to hold their services outside.
They hold it, but they also pay a rent. They gave a check this year for rent for backup for pavilion in case of weather.
Okay.
And the pavilion is not to be rented out from prior to 11 o'clock, just to,
So
Is this is basically was set up last year or the year before.
yeah, I don't know how
to
long this has
access
been,
Stony Point, a private development.
Yeah,
right? And this is where it's
That's what
to
it's
be
all
held, but it was suggested.
Last year, the bands was at Mike Lawrence's
Yeah.
place. It
Okay.
wasn't by Stony Point.
But it's to access his private the Stony Point buildings.
Mhm.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just a Lake Kempesca. event.
I don't know
Yeah,
how.
there's
I just-
They call it an end of summer,
Yeah, I
end
cannot.
of
find
summer
it.
event, whatever. But I don't know if it specifically centers around Stony Point.
It wouldn't be there,
No.
it wouldn't have been out there if it wouldn't have been for Stony Point to access.
Oh, is that right?
Call it whatever you would like
Mhm.
to put a name on it.
Yeah, I don't know that.
And I thought it was just the individuals on the lake that have this end of summer bash thing. It was supposed to, COVID hit, they were supposed to do it and then COVID hit.
Chad Christensen is in charge of that this year. You may
Okay.
want to call him and visit
Okay.
with him. He owns Dutch Boy. If you don't
Okay.
have his number, maybe call there and see if you can make contact with him, find
Alright.
out what he would like to do and
Okay,
what type of insurance he has on this event and that sort of thing.
But the insurance is the biggest problem. Other than that, it's, yeah.
All right, so what are we going to do? What's our thoughts?
I would say
Are we-
if insurance checks out, then
We will allow it
okay,
if
yeah,
we are
that's my-
covered under liability.
if we're covered or.
Are we gonna put this at an individual basis or are we gonna make this a
No, I think they'd have to
going
come make,
forward if somebody else wants to do this?
they have to make the ask.
Let's
again.
review each circumstance individually as they come up. How's
yeah.
They'd have to make the ask. It's not
Yeah.
gonna be a blanket, but
Mhm.
It's just, this is a last minute one, so. I mean, I think-
Check in insurance.
So then check insurance. then
That's all right.
the chair-
and anything else that may, that we think of, just so that we're covered to,
The only thing that I want to make sure that we do is don't upset our campers that have paid
True.
and booked reservations in the
I'm
campground,
trying to find out what the. hours are.
anticipating a nice quiet weekend, you
True.
know,
Yeah.
and then here's this band.
And that would
it's in
be the
afternoon,
concern would
Maybe a
be-
lot of them would enjoy it. I
Right.
don't know.
The thing would be is Capeska Hall has got a reunion going on, so that is not that far away from,
Mhm.
Oh,
During
those two
that, on
buildings.
Saturday,
yes,
or, okay,
yep,
This is Saturday night.
Saturday afternoon.
I'm
so
looking.
it's gotta
It's
be-
in the afternoon, I know.
But yeah, it'd be good to know when they're ending exactly, because you don't want
I'm trying to find
to go
out.
into the night.
Chad would have a lot of those answers. I'd give him a call.
Okay,
We
Would this
don't
be
need
some-
any of those answers to make our decision.
Well, I mean, it's probably gonna be up to the chair, I mean, in a case like this, I mean, because since we're not in session, so.
Okay. All right, well, we'll get all that information together and then see what the time frame. If it's kind of afternoon, I went a couple years ago or last year and it was during the afternoon hours and then it
Yeah.
was done, so.
Was it super loud or?
No.
Okay, well,
well, it's hard to
don't
say,
think
you
we
know,
take
you're
it.
directing out
Depending on
towards the
where you're
lake.
at on the
right?
boat, yeah, if you're close up, it will
That's
be,
good,
but
okay.
if you're further out, obviously,
Plus the
but.
homeowners knew what was going on.
that's good.
And it is like, you know, the GF&P are out there and they're patrolling, they're keeping things under control. So out on the lakeside, that
Okay.
was taken care of,
Alright.
so.
It's something that our sheriff's department would have to be aware of if it's on
Yeah.
county property.
Mhm.
right there, so.
All right, so the general consensus is we're okay with it this time, with it being kind of under the circumstances. It'll be case by case and we'll make sure all of those other items are taken care of to make sure for liability.
And we'll end up turning around and contact the ones that have the reunion, so that,
Yeah,
how much of
make
their
sure that
conflict
they're
there.
okay with that.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll check with those individuals and make
Yep.
sure.
Good idea.
Yeah.
So check the
That'd be good.
insurance, other people are already
Yep.
reservations.
We'll check with the reservations first, kind of, and then we'll
And
go.
this is a backup plan, not a.
This is a
primary
backup
Yeah.
plan, yes.
Yeah, just in case.
All right.
All
All
right,
right.
so that's the new business. Do we have anything for the open? Not hearing any. I'll look for a motion to
I
adjourn.
did attend the dedication of the bridge. This was Saturday morning.
The Hyder, James Hyder.
Yep, and it was well attended. It was a good bunch of people there and kind of nice in the sign when we walk over the bridge now, so it was a nice event.
Nice memorial. All right. Motion to adjourn.
So.
Motion by Gable, second by Van Duzen or Waterman. You kind
Yeah,
of
it
said
does.
it together. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed. We are adjourned.